Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back just as we get into the server for our next game. I think there is actually one thing that I want to try. Does my highlight reel work still? I've had to redo a brand new install. I just want to see if that got ported over, because I found a way to save some of my settings. Let me see. Hey, they work! They just work! Everything still works, that's cool! I don't have to reset everything up, I still have the highlights, which I haven't used all that much in that last game, let's be completely honest. Plus, the lack of overlay at the top of the screen makes it a little bit difficult to read the sort of situations that I've actually captured, but yeah, there's been some moments like that little crash from Switch there, poof, completely flipping over. There was one from Mario Galaxy just afterwards that I didn't capture on camera, but yeah, highlights work! Brilliant! Fantastic! So yeah, next up, as you can see here, it will be reWals Gold versus Evo Pink. Of course, reWals Gold, you've already seen them before, play a little bit beforehand versus Speed Mania Black, so we just get a little bit of a contestant roundup once again. So, Mario Galaxy and Transporter, the team captains, with Dizrod and Jeff, Mari, Switch, and Zimzalabin completing their effective. And on the other side will be Evo Pink with Josh and I Got Some playing the role of team captains, and will be joined by Chroma, CD, Inertia, Sticks, Gengi, and Breaker, with, of course, Babu being the manager of reWals Gold, and it will be Snicks, who will be, of course, filling in the role of manager for Team Evo Pink. Okay, I think we should be heading into the game, because we're going to be soon getting started. We're just getting a little bit of negotiation in terms of the number of warm-ups the teams want. The map order is still unchanged: Atomize, then High Voltage, then Water Slides to conclude things. And hello Zim, hope you're doing well. I hope you felt like you didn't. I hope you felt like you were satisfied with your performance on High Voltage. Maybe not. But yeah, nice to see you there, man, and nice to see some full speed again. Nice to see some high intensity gameplay. $2-1 for Evo, that's your prediction? Bet 50. Wait, 50 PayPal or 50 something else? That's, because saying bet 50, that's weird. Okay, so apparently reWals Gold are calling for restart, and then we go. Mario Galaxy maybe even trying to renegotiate, so yeah, there doesn't seem to be a bit more dissension. So yeah, one more and then resolution. Restart. Why did I say resolution? So yeah, no Gamba for me, because I just don't have the head for it, completely honestly. So yeah, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Just do the bare bones cast. But sometimes bare bones cast are good, because kind of makes you think about yourself in terms of how you want to deliver some performances, and once you make your push for higher and higher, you know, there you go. Mario, Chroma, Breaker. Got this rod in there. So, let's do a quick little roster rundown for this opening sub-match, shall we, on Atomize. So, it will be Dizrod, Mario Galaxy, Switch, 1, 2, 3, and Transporter will be making way for Ents this time around. Ents, who decided to sit out in the matchup versus Speed Mania Black on that opening map. And over on the Evo Pink side, it will be Josh, Inertia, Kengi, and, well, it says Chroma, Breaker, but I'm thinking one of these two are going to be moving onto the bench sooner rather than later, so we don't exactly have the full lineup that has been confirmed. Alright, we do have the restart being enforced, so 2 warm-ups and then live. We do have to wait for someone to go on the bench to get a proper idea. Kengi goes on the bench, so Breaker, Chroma, Inertia, Josh will be your starting lineup for this first sub-match here of Evo Pink versus reWals Gold on Atomize. Again, as a reminder, for those of you who are followed to the channel, you can get access to the various team emotes, and the relevant ones for this one are reWals and the Evo logo, which are available right here. And if you're not followed just yet and want to get access to these emotes, it's really simple. It's free of charge. You don't really even need to pay anything to get access to these, but that allows them to support your favorite team at your leisure. And of course, those Evo logos, well, those team logos are going to cycle out every time we get to feature a different match here on the FSL broadcasts. Anyway, we're getting underway right here, right now for Evo Pink versus reWals Gold. First sub-match on Atomize, 4v4, first to 7. We are underway right here, right now. And already Josh having made a huge clip. Same for Ends actually, just before the first checkpoint, the first corner, making a lot of damage already, making a lot of victims, as we're down to a 3-on-3 proverbially speaking already. Chroma, Disrod, and Inertia. 1, 2, 3 at the moment. It will be Switch in P3 at the moment with Inertia getting a little bit left behind as we see Mario Galaxy going through that tube transition pretty much unscathed, nice and easy. We're going to go back to the follow camera to get the speedometer from Mario Galaxy as we go through that second tube. And now we see Switch trying to make her work actually happen, getting ahead of Chroma as Mario Galaxy continues to be a little bit further behind compared to what he would like to be, currently sitting about a 10th down compared to Chroma, but Chroma getting a little bit wayside, getting a little bit shaky just before that double wall wide transition, and thus it will be allowing Mario Galaxy to move up into second place. But right now it looks as though Evo can still hold the fort pretty well, and in case of the damage being happening, and that's going to be the case for Mario, the point will go the way of Evo unless we see some other damages happening. But yeah, Chroma and Inertia, second and third. Josh in P5. Where are other players? There are no other players left in the running, so it will be first blood for Evo Pink. 1-0 for the red side. Okay, this time Chroma getting the best start out of everyone. Coming onto the first sector ending block, which is the dual loop with that transition jump. It will be Josh this time taking a very solid lead of 800s ahead of Chroma and Ends, who are side by side. Switch making it a three-way fight for second position as we see Mario Galaxy a little bit further behind in the splits in P5 at the moment. And right now, Ends trying to make a little bit of amends from the previous round where he had a touch at the very first checkpoint, as we see Switch also having a lot of speed carry through, making a solid morale appearance once again, getting ahead of Josh for the lead of the race as Josh continues to reach a little bit more speed through that final sector and retaliating almost instantly to take away the first place from Switch, but messes up the lineup for the ending. And that means it will be a 1-2-3 finish for reWals Gold with Disrod in P7, but still it will be the point for the blue side with a .852 being driven by Switch here in this round. The scales have been evened out once again, 1-1 at the end of round 2 with Atomize. There we go, .852 being driven by Switch, about 2/10 away from the record for Ents, which is a .648. Unfortunate for Josh, who had it under lock and key up until this very point at the end. Unfortunately for Chroma as well, huge crash at the very start of that map for the one and only Chromer. And yeah, he's going to be completely out of it. He's been forced to retire. It's going to be his teammate Josh trying to pick up the slack, but he also has to rely on his teammates Breaker and Inertia. But right now you can see Breaker having a little bit of difficulty himself, being a little bit slow, allowing Disrod to move up into P5. So right now it looks like an absolute freight train from reWals Gold that cannot be stopped or even stemmed at the very least by Josh, as you can see Switch trying to go for a bit of a bigger approach, trying to go for the lead of the race, and you can see Josh trying to go for a bit more conservative through the tube, and you can see Switch also looking a lot racier through the final section of the map to the line, through the jump into the finish. Switch sniping Josh by 10 milliseconds with a .913, and Mario third and fourth, Disrod in P6. What an ending from Switch, taking the lead and thus allowing reWals Gold to score the second consecutive point and take the lead in the sub-match. Switch and Josh again. Those are going to be the two main protagonists in terms of pace so far on Atomize, as Ends, while theoretically having the faster times of everyone. Oh, that's insta deletion from Chroma. Did you guys see that? He went over the hole and had a clip of his life, and that was insta retirement there for the man from Evo, and Josh also being overhauled by Ends and Mario Galaxy as well. So it looks as though 1-2-3 will once again be going the way of reWals Gold. Why do I say these words? Switch hits the flagpole head on and allows Ends to move up into the lead of the race with Mario Galaxy half a second down. It should be good still for reWals goal with the 1-2-4 actually, as I thought it was going to be a 1-2-5, but Inertia made a mistake of his own, and thus it will still be a point for reWals goal, but a lot of damage with 3 retirements to be noted, those of Josh Chroma and Switch particularly, that is worthy of note. And Ends takes a little bit more of a joy to take those 8 points away from Switch and not having her score anything, because that means he's the second most valuable player so far in the opening rounds here on Atomize. We're following along with the Albanian through the start of this map into the first sector cutoff points with Switch, Mario Galaxy, Disrod. That is a solid pack racing right now for reWals gold, as we do see Switch and Mario trying to make a bit of a breakaway run, trying to go for a bit more of a push, but you can see Disrod was able to hold his own really well actually, moving up into 3rd and 4th place as Breaker was all over the shot just before the turnover and barely clears the jump. Oh my god, Ends has also had a big crash. We are 1 man down on the reWals gold side, but we do still see Switch having a really solid round, but she does not have any teammates to rely on. Disrod is down in 5th position, and it seems as though we might have lost, well, we've lost Ends for sure, but we might have lost Mario Galaxy as well in the process, so it looks as though it will be the point going the way of Evo Pink with only 5 players left at the finish line. Breaker misses the finish outright, 59.968, and that means Evo Pink will be able to bridge the gap back down to 1 point. Also, Jack Attack and Zero, hope you guys are doing well. I know you entered the chat a bit earlier on, Jack Attack, but yeah, hello anyway, hope you're doing well. And there you go, Mario Galaxy reiterating his stern opinion on Atomize with that triple negative sign. And this time it will be Josh getting a solid start. Breaker was looking to be even with him until the transition into the 2, where he's losing a lot of time down to P7, as this run has fallen down even worse for Weir. Dropping down to last place, you can see the gaps continuing to spread out as Switch decides to go for a bit more of a push. Ooh, got Mario looking a bit racy. Huge stuff from Chroma. We are losing a lot of places here on the side of Evo Pink. Breaker and Josh are the only ones left in the running, as Inertia and Chroma had huge crashes of their own. It will be a 1-2 for reWals gold so far up front, with Switch and Ends in that order. Josh in 3rd, splitting Mario Galaxy away from his teammates. It will be Switch taking the win. What does the stopwatch say for Switch? A .830, a new record on the server, of course. And a .952 being driven by Ends, a 1-2-4-5 for reWals gold that sees them get up once again on 2 points of a lead versus Evo Pink. Just realized as the matches were on, so I had to catch the FullSpeed Legend go to work. Yeah, I mean, casting FullSpeed is already one of my favorite styles, but yeah, I hope you enjoy the stream, even though the cast is a fair bit more bare bones and maybe lower quality compared to what it was maybe a few months ago or something like that. But yeah, it's still a pleasure to be able to delve back into FullSpeed, as it seems as though we're down to 3 members. Yeah, we're down to 3 members on the side of reWals gold, as we seem to have lost Switch. Switch is no longer in the running. It's all down to Ends, Disrod, and Mario Galaxy to try and pick up the slack. Ooh, and Disrod, as soon as we mentioned that as well, yeah, had an unfortunate clip, I think, and huge slowdown just before the turnover, so he will be out of the running, and Ends as well. It's going from bad to worse, to even worse than worse for reWals gold. Only Mario Galaxy is left, and given his track record with the map, in his particular opinion, we might not be safe from seeing that going all the way down to the bitter end, and you can see Mario just jumping off, see ya, and it will be an ace for Team Evo Pink, despite that last hard flutter from Breaker, and it will mean that once again Evo Pink keep the gap back within a single point. And yes, indeed, Disrod is playing Hachikuku. He's also played the opening map in the previous series against Speed Mania Black. Breaker this time going a little bit too tight in turn number 1 and grazing the wall with the right fronts. Josh, Disrod, and Ends currently locked in a battle for the first place as we head into the end of the first sector. It's going to be Josh leading at the split, but 20 milliseconds ahead of Ends, as we see Switch also making a bit of a comeback here in the battle for the lead. Currently trying to gauge the opportunity before pressing B for a boost and trying to make the moves happen on both her teammates and her number one adversary in the form of Josh right now. And now Josh looking a little bit racy and a little bit sketchy actually in the wall ride, allowing Ents to move up into the lead of the race. And now it's going to be down to Switch to try and make the move happen. Josh going a little bit wide and a bit too much airtime, a bit of a sketchy landing as well, a bit over just shot and a huge stopping, big crash for Josh, allowing Switch to move up into second place. Mario Galaxy promoted up to third, a 1-2-3 that comes at the perfect time for reWals Gold to get some more points on the board, and the point 757 being driven by Enz as Switch drives a 60-second flat time. And as a reminder, 0.648, he is the current record holder according to TMIO. That's just a 10th away. Et le tout pile! Ah putain, pour les FR, là il me faut le son du tout pile d'attention à la marche. Il faut que je fasse ça à chaque fois qu'il y a quelqu'un qui fasse un tout pile. Okay, enough French. Let's go back into the business of racing, shall we? Josh and Switch. 1, 2, 3. Again, Josh having a really solid first sector. But it seems as though it will be on the at the very end of the second sector, and maybe even the start of the third sector, where he seems to go a little bit undone for the Englishman for Team Evo. And already you can see the cracks starting to show as Ent was able to take advantage of a little bit of sloppiness in the landings on some of Josh's transitions to move up into the lead of the race at the start of sector number 3. And Josh has even okay, I thought he had a crash, but no, he's still very much in the running. A Switch decides to try and catch him back up. It's not going to be enough for her to be able to make a move, so it's a 1-3 for reWals Gold, a 1-3-4-7 actually, that allows the blue side to move on to sub-match point number 1. 59.930 being driven by Enz as well. The only man to drive below the 60-second mark. Yeah, Tupil is flat, exactly. Ooh, what was that Chroma? Okay, Chroma decides to live a little bit with danger with that entry into the wall ride, going for Uber airtime, but still manages to make it work. Third place so far, actually second place just ahead of Mario Galaxy, where we do see the reWals Gold guys having a little bit of a trouble making their mark on there. Mario and Switch trying to tandem this together as we see Josh completely checking out up front. This time Chroma will be into the sights of Switch as she tries to catch back up, and you can see Chroma getting a little bit shaky as Switch has it pretty much down to a T when it comes to the start of that third sector. Oh, Josh, that was very close to being catastrophic when it comes to hitting the pole flag. And that is going to be very lucky. That escape, that's not such a lucky escape for Josh though, having clipped just before the jump into the finish, a 1-4. And it looks as though it will be a draw as there are only 4 players at the finish line. Switch, Disrod, top and bottom means we have a draw. We do not have any team taking any points just yet. Okay, this time Disrod trying to make a little bit more of a assertion of his own pace by taking the lead just before the end of the first sector, but this time it's going to be its teammate Ents trying to come home and kind of save the day for Disrod, as he was looking a little bit worse for wear in terms of pace at the transition into the second sector compared to Chroma. And this time Switch also trying to make it a 4-way fight and even a 3-way fight for the lead, as Chroma this time is going to be under big threat and big trouble, as we also see Disrod very close to hitting the top of that sign block. Bit of a teleport, I think, from Mario Galaxy or Chroma. I can't remember know which is which, but yeah, Chroma still holding steady in third, but 1-2 for Ends and Switch, locking horns, locking ghosts with each other, hand in hand maybe towards all the way the finish line. Mario Galaxy in fourth, Disrod in fifth. It will be the GG for reWals Gold, who take the first map 7-3 with a 0.863, being driven by Switch and just a touch above the 60-second mark. Breaker in P4 actually, with Disrod in P5, Mario Galaxy forced to retire, and that is going to be the GG. That is going to be breathing a sigh of relief on the side of Mario Galaxy, as this map is done and dusted with a 7-3 scoreline. And now we're going to be heading onto Switch's map called High Voltage. Okay, just taking a few Few dings here and there, actually. All right, so first sub match done, and thank you very much, Unlucky Lorty, for the raid. Vinky, everybody. I hope your stream went well. I think you guys were casting Yoa or JOA versus the B2 Equinox duo. I hope the match went well, and yeah, Vinky, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in on that second sub match of Evo Pink versus reWals Gold. reWals Gold took the first sub match 7-3. Okay, now we're going to be seeing a few lineup changes being operated as this round moves on to the bench, allowing Transporter to move in. We also see Breaker moving onto the bench of himself. And we're going to have to wait for who the final player will be. It looks as though it will be Styx that will be joining in to assist Chroma, Inertia, and Josh in their task to try and get some points and maybe even maps away from reWals Gold. Teleporter is in, or actually, yeah, maybe Mario Galaxy. Yeah, I wonder who is it gonna be, if Ents moves onto the bench to make way for Zim, or if it's gonna be something else, because we've already seen this round move away onto the bench. I'm guessing we might be seeing Ents take a bit of a backseat, or maybe someone else, maybe Switch or Mario, who knows. Warm-up currently being driven. As you can see, it is very indeed not live. Actually, let me take a sip of water real quick. Where's my water bottle? Water bottle here. There it is. The flimsy, absolute flimsy water bottle. Just look at this. Look at this, right? Look at this mess. Look at this mess. That's not a quality water bottle. Come on. Cast a JOA versus B2, kind of weird since it was my first cast. I mean, the first times are always going to be feeling a little bit awkward, so yeah, it's always going to take a little bit of time to get a feel for how you want to be when it comes to casts. But yeah, as long as you're having fun, then I guess that's all that really matters in the end. So yeah, congrats, dude. Congrats on the first cast, man. But yeah, okay, Styx is there, so hopefully we should be ready anytime now. I guess we do have one more round being driven as a warm-up, and then after that we do respawn, the 2 warm-ups to make sure everybody's ready, and then everybody will be going in there live. So, Josh, Inertia, Chroma, Styx, and Ends, Mario, Switch, and Zim. Okay, Transporter is moving back onto the bench, so we haven't seen Transporter play just yet in this sub-match. Maybe he's trying to save himself for the third and final sub-match, due to be played on water slides. As CD and Styx say that they are ready, even though they are not playing. I mean, everybody's got to be ready, right? I'm ready. I'm more than ready than ever to actually cast this sub-match. Okay, following along with Ends, once again, holding the WR on high voltage. Ends, of course, having the world record on all 3 of the FMS maps that are played today, with high voltage being a 101.370. Okay, good luck, have fun, everybody. And hello, Blue Sky and Snow. Hope you guys are doing well. And in case there are some informations that may be wrong, again, brain do be farting sometimes, but yeah. Hope you guys don't mind it too much. And thank you very much, Offkiss, for the follow. Very much appreciated. Alright, second sub-match on high voltage by Switch. Again, roster rundown. Ends, Switch, Mario, Zim on the blue side. And on the red side, Chroma, Josh, Styx, Inertia. Good luck, have fun, everybody. Sub-match 2 underway right here, right now. And already, first touch coming on the side of Chroma at the side at turn number 1. So we're 1 man down on the Evo front. Ends currently leading just ahead of Switch and Josh, who are locking horns in the battle for second place. Mario Galaxy in third, Zim currently sitting in P5, and yeah, you can see completely gone right now the rest of the team for Team Evo Pink, although we do see a bit of a wayward moment from Switch, who's not going to be able to help her teammates. It's going to be down to Enz and Mario to hold the fort right now, as we also see Zim having a huge moment for himself as well. When we got up to P4 ahead of Inertia, as Josh is not really able to have any kind of answer to the pace being shown by Enz. Oh my god, I thought for sure that Zim was going to be hitting the sea people, but he managed to keep it all the way onto the grass and onto the road, rather, as it's going to be a 1-3-5 for reWals Gold. Enz takes the win with a .586 ahead of Josh by a full half a second. Mario Galaxy in third, Inertia fourth, Zim in fifth, and Switch in P8. My goodness, .586 being driven. I know it's not exactly that impressive compared to the WR, but still, that is the first round driven on this sub-match. So already a strong statement of intent from Enz. Ooh, Inertia, that is unfortunate of a clip. He forced to retire. Yeah, that clip happened at the worst time possible. It's completely devoided him of any kind of speed, sorry. Oh, that quiche did not go down well. Well, it went down better than I thought, but yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Enz, Mario, Josh. Currently, Enz just not having any business of the battles that are happening behind him. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna have my own race. I'm just having my own drive off into the sunset. You guys do your job. You do your thing. Josh currently getting help from Chroma to try and get some more points going the way of Team Evo Pink, as Mario Galaxy gets overhauled by Chroma for P3. Let's see if he's able to actually bounce back and immediately retake that place away from Chroma. It doesn't seem like it, as he loses a lot of time hand over fist compared to the two Evo players trying to go for one last ditch effort at the last corner. It's not going to happen enough. It's going to be yet another Enz win, who continues to improve with a .574 at the end of that round. Mario in P4, Zim in P5, and it looks as though those are the only three players to be left on the running, as Styx, Inertia, and Switch having retirements again. Switch definitely not finding her footing so far, but she can count on her teammates to pick up the slack and actually ensure the points get banked when it matters the most. Zim having a bit of an awkward line through the start, but manages to make it work just fine. Currently sitting in P5, Enz having taken the lead. Josh currently the lead Evo driver, under threat from Mario Galaxy for the benefit of second position. Switch just an interested bystander just behind Mario Galaxy in third place, as this time it's Josh being on the attack and on the front, trying to make the move stick on the lead versus Enz, but he has a little bit of a slow exit from that turnover section, allowing Switch to come back up and Enz to move up into the lead. And now this time Switch trying to make it a 1-2 for Team reWals Gold. Josh has a lot of catching up to do and a lot of pressure on his shoulders to try and dislodge Switch and prevent her from getting that second place, but look at her, she's trying to carry so much more speed in the final corner. The move's gonna happen, and Switch moves at the second. Enz takes the win with a .450. .450? Sorry. But yeah, again, moving to within a tenth of his own .3 PB. And so far, absolutely no opportunity for Evo has been left open. Absolutely no breadcrumbs to kind of pick up any points whatsoever. reWals are there to punish their opponents, and their opponents is being very much punished, as we do have a huge crash from one of the Evo members. Let me try to see who that was by looking at the name tags. It looks as though that might be Josh. Yeah, Josh, one of the key contenders, is completely out of it, so this is even more of an open goal for reWals Gold to get some solid points in there. But we do have to be wary of Chroma, who's continuing to make a stand for himself and trying to uphold the honor of Evo in the individual front, but Enz is just on another whole level at this point in time. 2 tenths clear almost of Chroma, 3 tenths clear now, heading into the third and final sector. 1-3-5 should be more than enough as long as everybody locks position up until the finish line, and Enz just continuing to sprint away. Let's try to see what the time is for the Albanian as we move on to the finish line. The time will be another .498. Chroma second, Zim third. Mario promoted up to P4 due to the demise of one of the Evo members. Inertia fifth, Styx sixth, and Switch in seventh. And it looks as though Josh will be running out of time, so no points scored by the Englishman from Evo Pink, and it will be the fourth consecutive round in a row, fourth consecutive round going the way of reWals Gold here on this map. And so fast he's already on the next track. Yeah, that's kind of feel like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here with the 2 consecutive .4s, .450 and a .498. Driven by the man from reWals Gold, the Albanian driver. But this time he's going to be taking a little bit of a backseat and let Switch have her time to shine. You're like, you know what? I think I've done my part for now. It's going to be up to Switch to actually pick up the pieces. Although Enz does have a bit of a part to play here, as we do see that Mario and Zim are a little bit further behind than where they're expected to be. So Enz has to push a little bit to actually make up the move up to third and second position, even trying to make some moves happen. He does make the move happen to enforce at the very least a draw to happen in case both Mario and Zim finish in 7th and 8th, as Switch will be taking to the finish line first ahead of Enz, and the time for Switch will be a .584. Kudos to Switch, that is still a very respectable time. And Mario's up to 6th, as long as we do see a finish from Zim. No, Zim's dead. Zim is dead. It's still a round win for reWals Gold. I thought it was going to be ending into a draw because, yeah, 4v4, it's a bit of a weird one trying to do calculations, but, yeah, 5th consecutive points here on High Voltage versus Evo Pink for reWals Gold. 2 more points to go for the blue side. And Mr. Switch MD, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, Zim, that is a solid entry into the loop, allowing him to move up into P4 ahead of Chroma, I do believe, just before the splits. Oh, actually, still battling for P4 versus Chroma, and even versus Josh, actually. That's still on the perspective of Josh. You can see the ghost of both Chroma and Zim completely all over the perspective of Josh. He's going to be filling the screen all over, as you can see Chroma taking ahead of his teammate, and now is Zim trying to make it a move for P4 to be a bit more advantageous for reWals Gold, as it still ends in Switch firmly ahead in 1st and 2nd position by about 3/10 ahead of Chroma, as we see Josh continuing to hold the fort for 4th place against Zim. That is incredible resilience from the Englishman. But now the last corner, will we see a last ditch move from Zim? The answer is going to be a no. Josh retains. No, he gets sniped. He got sniped for 9 milliseconds, as a matter of fact. I thought for sure that he managed to soak it up really well, but a bit more speed just before the jump into the finish for Zim allows the Slovak player to move up and thus dislodge Josh from that 4th place. 6-0 for reWals Gold. 1 more round to go before we go on to the clean sweep here on High Voltage. Josh, a solid drop down into the sort of half pipe section. Switch taking over the lead ahead of Josh. 3, 4, 5. Solid placing, pretty much picture perfect for reWals Gold. This time Josh trying to go a little bit more on the attack, trying to put the pressure on Switch to force her to make a mistake, but he's gonna make a mistake of his own. What was that alignment at the checkpoint, Josh? I can't believe you've done this. In the meantime, it means everybody gets promoted up a place, including his teammates Chroma and Inertia, battling for P4 versus, I think it is going to be Mario Galaxy. But yeah, Switch has also kind of checked out. She's completely gone. She has made a mistake of her own. So Zim has to retain 3rd place to make it a 1, 2, 3. He goes a little bit too low. I think he got overhauled by both Chroma and Inertia. 101.837, but it does not matter, as only 6 players remain in the finish, with both Josh and Switch having hit the deck. And it's going to be the GG 7-0 for reWals Gold as they take the 2nd map for themselves. And we do have to wait for the decision of the teams if they want to play map 3 or not, given that yeah, both sub matches have been won by RW Gold. And it looks as though we are going to be seeing game 3 happen after all. So we're going to be switching over to water slides for our final sub match. All right, and I guess it's time to see my face again. Vinky everybody who just tuned in. Hello, Major Zebillion. Bonjour à toi. J'espère que tu vas bien. And again, hello, Switch MD. I hope you guys are doing well. And thank you for being here tonight for this sort of kind of off the cuff stream of the FSL, because it wasn't that prepared. It was kind of like the only day I could cast group stage, because yeah, next Next week, I will be away from my own PC. I'll be doing some other stuff. So yeah, it's not going to be possible for me to cast any more group stage after today. But yeah, I'll try to cast a bit more of the FSL over the course of the next few weeks as well, with the playoffs, of course, blah, 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 trying to make sure we get some appropriate coverage wherever it is. So if you're interested in that sort of coverage, make sure to hit the follow button if you haven't already, because yeah, I don't do just FSL. I tend to cast some other competitions as well. I've been doing Beacon World League earlier on in the year. I've done the Instalan events in Rennes. What else did I do in terms of cast? I think that's pretty much it in terms of a cast that I do remember doing. I also did the ritual actually from Psycho Edge, among others. And yeah, I'm slowly but surely basically picking and choosing my own events and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you're interested, make sure to hit the follow button. Interested because I saw Samzin training for it, if it was FSL or something else. Oh, okay. Yeah, Samzin, that looks like FSL, sounds like FSL training, yeah. So, we're not live just yet. We're just waiting for both teams to be ready. So apparently, Josh himself feels ready, but we do have to wait for other team members to agree and be on the same boat. Okay, reWals Gold is ready, and it looks as though who has been removed? Well, Zim has decided to remove himself from the server and move onto the bench. So it will be Transporter deputizing for Zim's album. So Transporter, Switch, Ends, and Mario, and the lineup remains unchanged from the last sub match, apparently on the Evo side, with Josh, Chroma, Inertia, and Styx staying firmly put in place for the third and final sub match of the match and the sixth and final sub match of the day overall here on this stream. Okay, respawn after that final warm-up round being driven by Josh at the moment on water slides, the map from Dai. And Josh will be driving a 55.491, new record of the server here, being driven by him, and actually a huge time, because remember, the record is a .450. That is a great time for Josh, just 10 milliseconds away from his own personal best on the TMIO leaderboard, a .481. That is second world time. Alrighty then, the last sub match is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. More for the honor and just for the pleasure of playing than anything else, as mathematically speaking, the win does go to reWals Gold with the 7-3 victory on Atomize and a clean sweep 7-0 on High Voltage. But yeah, Josh, having done a really good pre-game time, might have signaled that he intends to try and go out with a bang here on this particular match. And hopefully have his teammates along the way to back him up. Alrighty then, good luck, have fun everybody. The third and final sub match of reWals Gold versus Evo Pink on water slides. Roster rundown once again: Ends, Transporter, Mario Galaxy, and Switch for reWals Gold versus Chroma, Inertia, Styx, and Josh for Evo Pink. We're on their way. Ooh, Inertia trying to dive a lot lower than everyone else just before the transition into the sort of half radius tube. Josh taking the lead just ahead of Ends. Actually, Ends managing to resist a little bit compared to the assaulted Josh. Swiss trying to go ahead of Chroma and Josh as well. The player from reWals Gold manages to go ahead. She's done a pretty good job just before the wall right transition there. So it's a 1-2 for reWals Gold, with Transporter up into 5th position as well. So that is looking like a pretty solid accounting situation in terms of points. And that gets promoted up to P4 actually for Transporter, as he goes ahead of his fellow compatriot Chroma, battling for P4 at the moment. As we're heading into the final few embers of the track, the final few blocks, I'm kind of curious to see what the times will be, courtesy of Switch and Ends. Ends looking a little bit slow at the ending, but it will be still a 0.596 for Ends. Switch in second position, Josh in third, Transporter in P4, and we will not be seeing the finish line on the side of, it looks like, Mario Galaxy. So it will still be the point for reWals Gold, despite being a player down due to the advantageous positions of Ends and Switch in particular. As well as, of course, the 4th place from Transporter, which really validated and locked that result in. Oh, but this time we're going to be a player down, and it's going to be the least of the players that is going to be playing down. And now we're down 2 players, with Mario and Ends just left in the running. Transporter and Switch having a lot of trouble, and Ends as well having made a bit of a blunder. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You can sense that the tension is starting to get a little bit relieved here as, yeah, Mario Galaxy is going to be left all on his own, and we do see mistakes crop up a bit more often on the side of reWals Gold. Not exactly in with any kind of incentive to continue pushing for the overall victory here, as they've already taken the 2 sub-matches beforehand. Chroma and Inertia will be thus taking advantage of that particular situation to move into first and second. Actually, Inertia looking a lot slower than Mario Galaxy through the final turnover, thus promoting the Frenchman up into second position. 55.936 from Chroma up front. Actually, Inertia managing to tie up with Mario Galaxy. Inertia name-diffed Mario Galaxy for second position. You've seen it here first, and that means it will be a 1-2-4-5 for Evo Pink, actually, as ooh, what happened to Mario? What is going on with Mario? Why is he staying at the start line? This I wonder if it's Trolla or if it's a genuine issue, but yeah, whatever. We're just gonna go without him for now. So Switch, Transporter, and Ents down 1 player already. The teammate Galaxy completely stuck at the start line. There you go. Mario getting started now, but a few seconds back. Inertia taking over the lead of the race as Ents and Transporter are going to be left all on their own, as Switch has made a bit of a blunder as well and has been sent into retirement, but Ents this time taking the lead. Transporter in second position, looking very, very good as well. And that late start from Mario Galaxy might come back to bite reWals Gold in the butt, as yeah, that's looking like a really, really solid round from both Ents and Transporter, as Transporter is continuing to hold an 800th gap over Chroma at the moment, gap which is starting to diminish, and actually Chroma out of left field sniping Transporter at the ending for the benefit of second position. So that's going to be locking in the round in favor of team... Actually, is it going to be reWals Gold or is it going to be Evo Pink? Oh, actually reWals Gold do 1-3-6. Okay, I was maybe a little bit presumptuous about the particular situation in hand. I thought maybe Evo would have gotten a bit more for that, but yeah, quick maths did not work this time around. So yeah, still reWals in with the lead of the race. What are the standings? 2-0 for reWals Gold. They won 7-3 on Animize, 7-0 on 7-0 on High Voltage. That's the third and final sub match on Water Slides. RW, yeah. Ents first sector done. Well, first half of the map done. He's going to be firmly in the lead with Switch making a move on Josh for the benefit of second position. She comes away clean with it, as Josh can do absolutely nothing but watch her streak away into the distance along with Ents. Mario Galaxy and Transporter, actually it's just down to Transporter now, as Mario Galaxy had troubles of his own. It's Transporter up into P4, a 1-2-4 again, which will be very advantageous for Team reWals Gold. Now, Ents getting caught up by Switch and actually overhauled for the lead! That's an unfortunate crash from Ents right there. Where is Mario at? 1-3. Are we going to be seeing Mario? Yes, Mario is in P6. Is it going to be all that she wrote? Yes, 1-3-6. And once again, on mathematical countback, it will be the point for reWals Gold. Mario Galaxy here to save the day when one of their star players is falling by the wayside at the very end of the track as well for Ents, which was even more painful to see, as Switch drove a .545 as well, which I completely forgot about, but is kind of noteworthy at this point. Okay, Transporter with a really solid first sector, currently sitting in third position joint with Mario Galaxy, as Ents seems to have had a little bit of a moment for himself there, and he will fall back down to P4. I thought he had a very big crash actually, so yeah, he will be still in the running, but now it's Josh completely checking out up front. He's gone, mate. It's gone, mate. He is absolutely unassailably in front right now, and now Chroma taking advantage of a bit of a wonky landing from Transporter to move up into P2, so now the advantage goes firmly the way of Evo Pink in this round, as Chroma and Josh make a blinder of a round, especially Josh. What's the time going to be for the Englishman? The time will be a .660. Evo, Chroma in second, Mario and Transporter third and fourth, Ents in P5, Inertia and Styx in sixth and seventh. Switch does not reach the finish line, and it will be the point for Evo Pink, 3-2. Ooh, great entry with that snap just before the wall ride, heading into the decreasing radius tube. And thus, the Englishman from Evo, Josh, will take the lead quite firmly indeed with a 26.3 at the end of the first half split. Transporter trying his best to catch up to the Englishman. Oh, actually managing to make a few inroads onto the advantage from Josh, actually. This is looking pretty promising on the side of Transporter, and the gaps still remain kind of similar, actually. It was a bit more of a visual artifact than anything else. Josh going very high, but managing to get away with it this time at the landing. Chroma now moving on to attack Transporter for second place. The move is going to stick for Chroma, moving up into second again. It is going to be a tied-up game, I think, at the end of that round with a 55.828, and another 2-pil from Chroma with a 56 flat being driven by the German. 3-3 at the end of this round. The solid placings of Mario Galaxy and the 1-3s that came with it are seemingly a long time ago, following what we've seen in back-to-back rounds from Evo. Oh, huge mistake from Chroma. Huge clip from the one and only Chroma on Evo's side, so that might be insta-retirement, actually. And now it's going to be a rare sight to see, actually, here on Water Slide so far in this sub-match, with almost all 4 cars regrouped within a single group in the splits. But now we do see Mario Galaxy getting left behind, or maybe even having retired at this point. We don't exactly know, but you can see Transporter getting a lot closer to the action now, moving up to third ahead of his teammate Switch, and now it's Ents versus Josh. Ents getting ahead of Josh for the lead. Solid battle up front from the Albanian versus the Englishman. As we move on to the finish line, it's going to be Ents winning ahead of Josh. Transporter and Switch third and fourth. 0.764 Ents ahead of Josh by less than a tenth of a second, about 0.08 of a second there or thereabouts. Transporter in third place. No, we do not see Mario Galaxy, neither Switch, and no team. No team means it will be Evo Pink taking the point and taking the lead in the sub-match. Hey, who was that? Chroma once again, the culprit for an early setback for Evo Pink. But we've seen that the tide can turn very quickly here on water slides, as Josh and Inertia, well, especially Josh and Chroma have been more consistent, but now Chroma completely out of the running. It is going to be Josh left all on his own. Switch, Ents, and Transporter 1, 2, and 3. Well, 2, 3, and 4 rather, with Josh holding the coveted first place, as Inertia is trying to swap places along with his teammate still in the running. That is going to be, of course, Styx trying to make some moves happen. But right now you can see Ents trying to make some moves, but having made a mistake as well, so he will be forced to instant retirement, and it's going to be yet another point going the way of Evo Pink due to silly mistakes coming from the reWals Gold members, unless the snipe from Switch comes in at the perfect clutch time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a 6th member that could potentially salvage the job? The answer is no, so it will be likely a... Well, I think it's going to be a point for Evo Pink. Yes, it is. Numerical advantage 3-2, and with the way that the points are split in the 4v4, it is going to be giving advantage to the team that actually finishes in second. Okay, this time, Josh not leading just before the end of the first sector there. It will be Ents to do the honors this time around. The last set of rounds might have been a bit of a wake-up call for the reWals Gold faction, where they do need to actually pick up the pieces, but Ents was looking very slow just before that entry into the wall ride, into half-tube, quote-unquote. Oh, huge crash from Josh. Big F for Josh, as Chroma also looks to be a little bit shaky there, allowing Switch to mount a bit of a fight for first place, and a 2-3-4 for reWals Gold is actually a great position to be in at the moment, especially with Switch moving ahead of Chroma for the lead of the race, but Chroma is retaliating immediately and takes the lead away from Switch, who's gonna have to be content with second place. 2-3-4 for reWals Gold. It will be 18 points. It finishes 15. I think that should be it, and it's going to be the point for, yeah, indeed, reWals Gold, allowing themselves to bridge the gap back. I did not focus on the time that much, but yeah, I feel like it was a low 0.5 being driven that I might have missed. Very sorry about that, guys, but yeah, I was more focusing on the tabulating and calculating on the outcomes of the round. Okay, is this the wake-up call that Switch and the crew can use to their advantage? You can see Ents having taken a bit of a liking to take over the lead fight versus Josh, and you can see how quickly he's trying to go ahead of the job and trying to make quick work of Josh, but managing to soak up the pressure really well. He is the Englishman from Team Evo, and you can see he's trying to pull a little bit of a gap as Enz is looking a little bit less confident now in that third and final sector, allowing Chroma to move up into second position as well. And that looks as though it might be a situation in favor of Evo Pink. As soon as I say that, Josh completely messes up the end of that turnover and falls with the magnet out of the map. 55.785, ends in Switch second and third, Transporter fourth, Mario Galaxy in sixth. We're back on an even score, 5-5. Transporter getting a really solid start. So does his teammate Enz and Switch, moving up into the top 3 fight, with this time Inertia picking up the slack as Josh is having a little bit of trouble trying to find himself into the groove, and actually is completely out of the running for the top positions as Transporter decides to fly off of the map into the outside retaining wall. Instant retirement for the German, with Switch and Enz first and second, 86 milliseconds ahead of Inertia, who's having a tough job ahead of him to try and catch up to that infernal duo that is seemingly uncatchable when they're completely on and dialed in. And now we should see what the time in the stopwatch will say for Switch and Enz. Switch, it will be a 0.668 and a 55.802 for Enz, but a 1-2 that comes in at a very, very opportunistic time, as despite that P6 from Mario Galaxy, the top 2 placings are probably going to be locking in indeed that point for reWals Gold, who are now on sub-match point number 3, a sub-match that they did have to fight a lot more than anticipated for. Okay, Josh back up to where he used to be at the water slide start, that is to say, leading at the end of the first sector. Inertia going very close to the sign there. That was very, very risky on the part of the American driver for Team Evo, but he's looking a lot slower at the start of that second sector, allowing Chroma to move up into P4, and now falling prey potentially to Transporter and to Switch, apparently, who's might have made a mistake, and now it's his teammate Styx trying to take a few pages out of everybody else's book to try and back up his teammate. The Mario Galaxy trying to catch up with Chroma to battle for third place. It's going to be very, very tough, very racy there, as Chroma now deposes Mario Galaxy of that third place, and now even a second position ends, as it is going to be a big crash for Chroma. Transporter in P6, 1-3-5 is enough for Evo Pink, and we go on to one last round on water slides to determine who will be the winner. Remember, there are no tennis mode rounds enabled there. Whoever gets to 7 first wins it. Ooh, solid entry from Chroma. I had a little bit of a lag spike, so that might be why it looks a little off faster than it really is, but still, solid entry for Chroma, but does not capitalize on that, allowing Josh to move up into the lead. Enz in second position, Inertia in third, Switch and Transporter fourth and fifth. As you can see, Enz having a little bit of trouble catching up to Josh, but now it's going to be Switch, the biggest mover on the field. She decided to move up into third position on her own, and now onto second position, trying to make a bit of a challenge maybe against the first place of Josh, continuing to hold it pretty nicely, about half a tenth ahead of the leading duo from reWals Gold. And now Switch decides to press B for boost. She decides to go on the prowl and immediately take a stab at taking the lead away from Josh. She executes herself beautifully. Can she hold it up until the finish line, though? That is the main question. Is Josh anywhere to make an attack? No! And it will be Switch and Enz 1-2. And it's going to be the GG, especially with Transporter in P4. 7-6, the final score here on the final sub-match on water slides. 3-0, not a single sub-match dropped over the course of the first 2 matches here for RW Gold. GG.